We are looking at the Florida Mountains, just north of the little village of Columbus, New Mexico. Actually looking about east, and over behind that ridge on the north end of the Floridas, you'll come to Spring Canyon, a magnificent place to picnic, very picturesque. And just a few miles beyond that, you come to Rockhound State Park, where they permit you to visit, and you can pick up so many pounds of rocks per day and geodes and things like that of value. And as you drive the 30 miles south from Deming off of I-10 to Columbus, these are the Three Sisters. You pass those, they'll be off to your right as you approach Columbus, and they are quite a sight. This is the eastern end of the Hermanus Mountains, and these three peaks are called Tres Hermanas, Three Sisters. An important navigational reference point for first AERO squadron pilots back in 1916, and also they were used as a target for the bombardiers that trained at Deming, New Mexico, about 20 miles up the road north of here. And you are looking at the old Columbus Custom House, right at the main intersection in Columbus, New Mexico, Highway 9 east and west, 11 north and south. This is one view of the Columbus Depot as it was back at the turn of the 20th century. Looks like somebody salvaged an old CAA, Civil Aeronautics Administration building from the pioneering days of transcontinental flight in our country. That must have been a transmitter house or maybe a power generating house. And just a quick look at the village plaza. And we're looking at the City Hall for the village of Columbus. Across the street from the City Hall you can get artesian water anytime you want to. A lot of people use it. Some even come from across the border from Old Mexico to use that water. The village of Columbus is much like it was 100 years ago. As you can see, we have our municipal court. Bill, how long do you think that building's been here?
That building has been here since 1922, if I'm not mistaken.
So that's post-raid. That's after the punitive expedition then.
That's true. The airfield was still in use at the time, as nearly as we can tell, but this was built following the war.
And this is the Hoover Hotel, now a private residence, but a long-time landmark in this area. On the left part of this recently renovated building is our library, and on the right part, kind of over that way, is the computer room. A lot of the young people spend a lot of time in that computer room. This is a very popular place in this little village. We're looking at Martha Skinner's Bread and Breakfast. One of the really nice places to stay here in this part of the Southwest. And Martha and Javier are noted for their hospitality. And I'm sure if you Google them up and call them, they'll take very good care of you at a very reasonable price. Okay, we are looking roughly northwest from the little village of Columbus toward the Hermanus mountain range. And the large mountain seen most mid-screen here is Tres Hermanus, those three sisters. And Bill, I understand that there's a rifle range up there that the soldiers used.
Yeah, you're pretty much looking at it. If we were maybe another 100 or so feet higher, we could see it. It's a 1,000-yard range that's out there, occupies quite a bit of territory.
And we're looking at the setting sun in the west along the Hermanus range. And the soldiers must have commented frequently on the appearance of those mountains from their tents. So if you come to Columbus, plan to be here during early March to early to mid-March when we have the Hands Across the Border celebration and the horsemen ride up from Old Mexico, and the dancing and the horsemanship and food and covered wagons and stagecoaches and everything associated with the Old West. And all are welcome.
From outer space down to desert storm, all reaching out with hope when it's needed.
Eyes lifted skyward, we aim high and fly toward the challenges ahead.